Hey there, guys. You're listening to Yakkin with Nick. I am Nick Hazelton. How's it going? I'm a little bit quieter today. We'll see what I can do. I got a weird situation. If I get up to close to the mic, my head hits the top of my bed, and I have like a bunk bed kind of thing in this trailer, and my mic is hanging off of the bunk bed, the top bunk. If that makes sense, kind of in front of my face, but I have to angle it weird to get a good angle at it. So I might not do that because it's not natural for me. And when I get talking, it just all audio rules go out the window because I don't care. No, it's true. I do care. It's just getting the flow, man. And yeah, whatever. I wanted to. Like I realized last week I should have done a wrap up of 2017. So talk about what happened, but. I don't know. What do you guys want to know about what happened? I don't want to give a play-by-play replay of what happened, but I guess I would like to talk a little bit about 2017 and see I hit the roof and talk about how I have improved because I've come a long way. 2017. I didn't get my New Year's resolution done. I didn't resolve that. Is that how you say that? I don't know, but I'm pissed about that. I really am. It's like, that's the worst thing ever. Not getting your resolution done. After you gave yourself 365 days of doing it. And I thought about it all the time too. Because here's my New Year's resolution last year was to walk to the top of a nearby ridge. A ridge that I have stared at my entire life. For the last 19 years on this planet. I've pretty much known about that ridge and I've seen it. I didn't really care about that ridge until probably 6 years ago maybe. But, now I care. And last year around this time, I was doing a lot of walking, and I thought, well, you know what? I'll keep up this momentum. I'll do a bunch of walks, and I'll probably go walk to that because it's not that much of a walk. It would be a pain in the ass. It's all uphill, and it's probably like 3 miles uphill. It's kind of, as I say that, it's like, bitch. but man, once you walk that, it's pretty gnarly. It's a pretty gnarly walk. I've driven it. I've driven up, not to the top, but almost to the top. And it was a gnarly drive in the Jeep. Pretty steep hills. But I thought I would do it, and I didn't end up doing it. So here I am. What is it, January 2nd? Wow. Of 2018, and I didn't climb that ridge, to roll over ridge. That's what's called up because the fog rolls over it sometimes from the ocean. It's west, kind of southwest of here. No, it's pretty much just directly west. Whatever. But yeah, man, I didn't do it. So I'm like, well, shoot, I gotta do some more walking because. This year I've kind of solidified my life's mission, I guess, and my kind of vision for life, at least more than I have had it before, I guess. Excuse me as I move around, but excuse me. Yeah, I guess one of my things is I really want to know this local area. Like I just think that there is, I hate using the word spiritual, like there's some sort of spiritual connection with the land. I don't know, like if that's, like I just don't know. I don't know if that's what I mean, but it's a special emotional connection that I have to this land, and I feel like that there's a pride there of me just knowing all these things. Like I would, like my fantasy with this desire is that I would be able to be sitting on my front porch, smoking a big old blunt, rocking chair, telling my grandkids, oh yeah, I've walked to that ridge about a dozen times. You know, point anywhere from this porch, and I've been there. That would be my goal. And it is not a hard goal to accomplish here. Because I'm surrounded by hills. Like, there's probably like a 3 mile radius that you can see. You know, like, what is that? How many square miles do you think, Nick, is this valley? I don't know. it might be like 6 square miles. Well, the valley part of it, but like, you know what I mean? Not a lot of, there's not even 6 square miles. I bet that's bullshit. Well, I don't know, but it's just not a long distance, and I could absolutely do it. And the thing is you just gotta like cross it out. So I've climbed to a few ridges, I've walked a few things, so I can point you like, oh yeah, I've been over there, and I found chanterelles over there, I found chanterelles over here. So that's the thing I want to do, because I don't know. I started out like at this thing with the goal of independence, being self-sustainable, and I thought, well, I want to know this land because if shit goes down for some whatever reason, I want to be able to be like, yeah, I can go out and live in the woods by myself. I can do it. And yeah, I didn't make that much progress on it this year, but I don't know. And then you have to know the area to be able to do that, right? And you have to know what's out there, and I have to like, not only do I need to know what kind of food I can find, but I need to know the land so I can get to places, so I know where stuff's at. So yeah, I just thought, well, I need to explore, and so that's kind of like what I'm trying to do these days. Because as a kid, I never did that. I just didn't play outside very much. I was not an outdoorsy kid at all. I didn't like sports really. I didn't like walking around. I didn't like animals that much. It's amazing how much I've changed. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, what else do I say? Oh, I guess, yeah, because I was young, I didn't walk around. I didn't get to have that many adventures. It's so disappointing to me that it wasn't until I was 16 that I really went out in the woods and really actually paid attention to where shit was around me. And, I don't know, man. It's weird, because now I'm like, it's like, well, no shit, I should know all of that. I should have walked these ridges like my uncles have. Like, there are people in this valley that know it way better than me, and it kind of pisses me off too. They've been here way longer than I have, so it's kind of fair, but still, like, I should be so knowledgeable of this valley. That's just what I want. And it's a pride thing, and I don't know what is the deal. It's just because my great grandfather came in and bought this land, like from a bank, because it got foreclosed or whatever. I don't know what the deal happened. I think I told the story, and I think I was wrong. I think the actual, like, on Thaddeus Russell's podcast, I told the wrong story about how the family got this property. I've heard an alternative story, which was that the Barnhart family had I think particularly maybe my great grandfather had a farm near Falls City, Oregon, and it was going to be foreclosed on, so they sold it. And it was they had, like, I guess they had a hog farm close to town, and that was more valuable than the land out here, which is just on the railroad. But turns out, we did all right. It was not a bad idea to buy this property. Probably better than if we had kept that other place. I don't know. So I don't know what the actual deal was. This next year, I plan on doing some more research, just talking to more folks. One of the things I want to do with this, I'm calling it this. Jesus, let me finish a sentence before I keep going on the next thing. What I want to do with this podcast, one of the things I want to do is a series on. I'm just personally, I'm calling it the Reconnect to the Elder series, but I think that's a weird name. I think it's kind of a lame name. So I don't know what I'm going to call it. I probably won't call it anything. But I'm going to start interviewing some older folks, particularly in this area. And it's such a bummer. There was a good number of people I could have reached out to 2 years ago when I started doing podcasts. But all I was interested in was politics. It's funny, man. But anyway, some of those people have passed away, and some of them haven't. So I'm trying to get all of the people that I haven't on my podcast before they die, and try to learn some things. So I've got an interview scheduled. I gotta write down some questions for her so she can do some what do you do that? Not mesmerized, but like remembering, and do some research herself so she can make sure she has the story straight. But she'll be pretty knowledgeable in this area, and I'm pretty excited about that. And there's some other folks I need to talk to, relatives, and that should be interesting. I hope you guys will find that fun because I'll release it out here. But anyway, that's me and doing these walks. But I walked a ridge today, smaller one, not as much of a crazy walk, because it sucks in the winter. There's no daylight. I have until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. At least give me till 6, because 6 is dinner. I want to be back home by 6 anyway. Anyway. I wanted to talk a little bit about 2017 just in general, and some of my plans for the next year. And I just like, some of it's like, do I give teasers about like what could happen? Because I love doing that. I love talking about this is what I plan on doing, and then it doesn't happen. Like hardly ever, you know. Nothing never goes on schedule for Nick Hazelton. It's usually my own fault, but I'm figuring it out, guys. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. And yeah, I guess that's it. But I have to say, other than not getting my New Year's resolution, I had a pretty good year. It was, I don't know, a lot of things improved. I think I've come a long ways. My business is in a lot better place. Am I making that much money right now? No, I'm making a little bit. It's like here and there, it's trickling in. I'm not in the farmer's markets, you know. I don't really have meat, so that's kind of a thing. But this week I'm gonna have some more, so let's see. We'll see. Anyway, did a lot better in the yak markets. Did a lot better on the pastures. Did a lot better just managing animals. Still got to work with the pigs and figure that business out. Like, it's just too much work. That's kind of the story of what's going on at the farm. Is I need to cut back, and one of those things is getting rid of those pigs, but I don't want to I don't know how exactly I'm going to do it. I'm sort of indecisive, I guess. That's the thing I should maybe figure out. I don't want to talk about it right now, but you know, it's just one of those things this year that's got to be taken care of, because if I am not in a better place by next year, it's a big problem. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I have another year to figure it out. Anyway, I'm a lot better. I'm in a lot better place in terms of organization and time management. I'm using a calendar pretty consistently, and that's helping me keep up with stuff. Yeah, I have a better living situation. Living in the same place in the same trailer as last year about this time, but it's better. I don't know, maybe it's not better insulated. I think it's better insulated. And I have a little bit more improvements in here. I have better technology. I have better phones than I used to. Shout out to yeah. Sometimes I don't want to like just give out people's names, but I don't think he minds. Shout out to Lane. And I don't know, because like you should. I just feel like you should ask. Well, I don't. Here's the thing. I don't care. Part of me is just like, no, say whatever you want on a podcast. Other part is me like, oh wait, people care about their privacy more than I do. So, but I don't think he minds. I've shouted him out like 4 times. It's probably been more than that. Yeah, I don't know. This is just me bragging. I don't know if it's really that worth it. But I've come a long ways, guys. I'm really happy about that. And I think that, I guess, yeah, this is what I want to talk about. I think a lot of this year has been me searching for clarity on what am I doing here, and what am I supposed to. God damn it! Why aren't they running? It's 7 o'clock at night, Rick. That's got to be him. Either that's my dad. What would they be sawing down? Firewood, maybe, because but fuck, do that on a Sunday. I don't know why I'm complaining. I don't care. You guys probably can't even hear it. Somebody's running a chainsaw. I don't know who that is. I don't know if that's on the other side of the building. Meaning my dad, or or if it's across the river, which would be the neighbor. What the hell? You can't even see right now. Maybe my dad's got something going on in the shed. I don't know. Whatever. So, what was I talking about? That's a bummer. Oh, searching for clarity. And, yeah, man, I was really trying to figure out how do you become successful? I was trying to think of like what path do I need to set myself on? What are the habits I need to set? What are the things I need to do to become who I want to become? Because I kind of figured out this is who I want to become. I clarified that more for myself this last year, and I figured out how to do it. At least I can explain it to you on paper. Maybe not very well because I haven't articulated it that much, but I think I've got more clarity on it, and that's pretty powerful. It's just nice to get that out of the way. And I think I've tackled a few of my own insecurities and some of the bad habits that I have and kind of mindset changes that I could make. I've rooted out a lot of my own kind of psychological issues, and I've dealt with a lot of them. And I have the tools, and I'm better versed with the tools of dealing with those sort of issues. I've learned a lot because of many different things. Psilocybin mushrooms have been amazing. Just the ability to break down your psyche. You can't do that on your own. You can't, at least not the way that psilocybin does. For me, it has, at least I should say, in the right doses. Man, I swear, like I don't know exactly what's happening when you're on those chemicals, but certainly it just feels like you like all these different like pieces of baggage you have on your mind, like all these things going on, and all the stuff that's happened to you, and all these kind of things that you kind of care about. I feel like mushrooms just rips that all away from you, shows it to you, while you're just kind of your true self. If that makes sense. It's what it feels like to me. I don't know how else to explain it, but even if it's not true, man, I think I've had some. I really do think that it's been a pretty therapeutic adventure to get into those. I just really like mushrooms now, particularly for that reason. Like I don't do mushrooms that often. I like the learning experience, and I think I've learned a lot, particularly in breaking down fears and psychological barriers. Like, I don't. What is a specific example? I don't know. I don't think the fear of sales, like the fear of sales, was not conquered by mushrooms. I think maybe mushrooms helped a little bit, but that was mostly just having people like just say, do it. And then I did it. And then it's like, oh, right. You just do it and it's fine. Easy one. But yeah, I can't think of a specific thing. Well, I guess this desire for figuring shit out, like I kind of already ran into like, oh, you can't figure everything out with like nihilism. But I think that maybe there was still some kind of I don't know. This is complete jackass theorizing. I wonder if there was still a part of me that was really looking for like a thing like. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. This is too. I'd have to like write this out and think about it maybe. Because I've had multiple experiences, and different experiences and how they all relate together is complicated. And I haven't fully pieced it out, but at least in the fact of breaking down my fears and kind of showing me some of, I guess, the distraction thing. But these are things I feel like maybe I knew already. Each one I've listed. But I did get some valuable lessons about meaningful, like, gosh, like part of it with the mushrooms is it's not like the mushrooms showed me. It was like I had this trip, and then recalling it and just thinking about it, I'm like, wow, that was an amazing experience that shows me this. I'm like one time I did mushrooms, and I was coming up, and I thought, oh, this is kind of a weak dose. I'll be fine, and like I felt like you just get sick a little bit. I'm like, I hate that part. And the time I just wasn't experienced, and I thought, well, let me just ride this out, and I'll take a shower, and then I'll just kind of like watch a movie, because it was just getting a little uncomfortable, just that sick feeling, and I guess I taunted the mushrooms. I was like, ha ha, you can't, like I said this to myself in the mirror, and to the mushroom spirit, what if it's there, this is just the thing I'm talking to, where my message was directed, I guess. I don't know. You know what I mean? And I was like, hey, this is a pussy dust. I can overpower this, and I can do whatever I want. And then I tried to take a shit, and then I went to try to take a shower, and then I just found myself getting caught up in these thought loops, just being distracted, going to one thing to the next. So I went to the bathroom, and I did my thing, and it was like I was just feeling sick, so it wasn't like I didn't really have to go that bad, and it just wasn't. So it wasn't a big deal. Maybe I shouldn't be talking about these things. Whatever. It's only 21 minutes. I got you guys. You guys can listen for like another 20 minutes, right? I'll get the 2018 plans. Trust me, but this is a good story. So I go back to okay, yeah. So I do my thing, and I get like halfway undressed to take off my pants and my underwear, and then I'm like, I don't really want to take a shower. Let's turn on my phone. So I turn on my phone. I'm like, let's watch some YouTube, because I'm like, this feeling. I just didn't like the feeling. I was trying to get away from the feeling of whatever it was. And then so I go back to my room with a towel draped on a shirt, just a shirt and maybe a hat, and because I'm always wearing hats, and a towel on. And I go back to my room, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play on my phone a little bit, and then maybe go take a shower. And then I kept coming back to like, nah, don't do that, because it's stupid. Like, put that away. And because it's, I don't know, it just felt weird. It felt weird to be on the screens. And then finally I'm like, well, gosh, I got like this feeling. Oh, I know what it was. I know what I was doing. Because the first couple times I did mushrooms were kind of terrifying. No, that's not true. I shouldn't say that. The first time, it like started out good, and then it went really terrifying. And then the second time, I was a little bit scared, but it was a really small dose, so it didn't really do much. But there's like, I experienced this like very dark, like extremely dark thoughts. I not suicidal, because I've been there, right? But like totally deep existential, meaningless depression. And like so painful, like existential pain. Like it just sucked. Like it was the word, like I kind of think of emotions as the flavor of existence, right? The flavors of existence. This flavor was puke and shit. everything in existence didn't matter. Like it took away all these things from me. Like I cared about the yaks and all these things, and it broke it down for me. And while that was a very valuable experience, I had these fears of this, what me and my friends started calling the void of it's just everything that's bad. And your mind goes to that place, and it's so terrifying. And so I was trying to stay away from that. And so I was trying to keep myself from thinking the dark thoughts, and distract myself with with the phone or taking a shower, and it just didn't work. And luckily I'd rolled myself a couple of joints. So finally I was like, okay, you know what? Leave the phones behind. No, I think I took the phones with me. I grabbed my joints. Maybe they were already in the car. I don't know. So I went out to my Jeep, and I just hotboxed that thing. And I just sat there, talked to myself in the mirror, and I figured out some crazy shit, dude. And it was great. Like I guess here's what it was. Like I remember having this conversation with the mushroom spirit, or my inner self, whatever you want to call it. But I don't think it was me. It was definitely me speaking the words. Like I was sitting there looking at myself in the mirror. It's me speaking the words, but it taught me, literally, taught me, and it's like showed me the feeling of enlightenment. Like it explains to you the meaning of the universe, and like, oh yeah, now you get it. Like that, like I don't know how to describe it. You get it. You get that feeling of getting it. Like, I can't tell you what it was. Like, I don't fucking remember. It had something to do with God and the levels of existence or some shit. But I don't remember, just, crazy things that you experience on the mushroom trip. But it was an amazing experience. But one of the things that I talked about with this entity was interacting with emotions, and it literally showed me how to interact with emotions. Like, it showed me that anxiety, that fear. It's like, yeah, you feel that fear, Nick? Now it's gone, right? Like, let me show you how to do that. And it showed me, this is how you do it. And how do you, I can't show you because it's like, it's a weird thing. And I don't think I can really recreate that thing. Like, it's somewhat I don't know. I kind of can't. It's a weird thing. It's a really weird thing. But it kind of showed me how these emotions, like, they're there for a reason. But you can choose how to interact with them. Like, these anxieties, the reason why you feel bad is because there's a legitimate fear there. There's a problem you haven't solved. There's something you haven't done. There's a reason why you feel this way. But you choose how to interact with that emotion. You can let yourself feel that way. You can let yourself feel the fear, the anxiety, the depression, and you can let yourself wallow in that or whatever. But you don't have to. You can just be like, hey, listen, I feel that, but that's not really helping me. Let me actually, I'll solve the problem. I get it. You're telling me there's something here, but I don't have to feel that. You kind of just be like, hey, oh, anxiety, I feel you. And then I almost like visualizing grabbing this sort of feeling and chucking it. And it always comes back. Like, you can't ever, like, chuck it and have it be gone forever. But it comes back. That's what the mushrooms told me. Anyway, that was a long story. Man, I say that. I just feel like that's hilarious. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I just feel like I'm a fool. Sometimes, like, people are just, what the fuck is he talking about? But I don't care, man. That's really what happened. But that taught me some valuable lessons, and so did the bad trips. That it taught me. It gave me the most profound thing I think happened this year was my first mushroom trip. When I did it, I did an eighth of cubensis, I think. I don't know what they were. Bought them from somebody. And it started out really fun. It was really interesting. I was pretty excited, but then I started thinking about my life. Like, at first I was looking around at everything. I was like, wow, this is awesome. Holy shit. And then I started thinking, like, I was out in the yak pasture on top of a stack of hay. And I just started asking myself, why do we do these things? Like, why do we make hay? Why do we raise yaks? Why yaks? Why farm? Why do any of this? Why are we monkeys on this planet? What is the deal here? And I was searching for meaning. This is kind of me after the fact. Like, I was searching. I could tell I was looking for something. I was looking for something, and that dark feeling, like, just encompassed me. And, like, it was like, why yaks? Beats me. This seems kind of dumb. All this work that I'm doing, like, for what end? For what end am I doing this? I just didn't know. And I was like, well, fuck. My life is meaningless. And then I spent, like, the next 4 hours just in existential pain, trying to find some sort of little bit of comfort or satisfaction or pleasure. And I couldn't at all. I was touching myself everywhere. Like, I felt like a child, but in, like, so much pain. And that, like, I was like trying to pull apart my nose. It was weird. Like, I don't know, just as you'd, like, touch your face, like, feeling it. It was weird. It was a weird experience. And it was very, very unpleasant. But then I woke up, and I had the most. I just felt so great. I wanted to, because I was hanging out with people that night. Man, I wanted to go, like, because a couple of my friends lived nearby. I wanted to just walk over to their house at 2:00 in the morning. It was a bright summer moonlit evening, 2:00 in the morning, in the evening. And I just wanted to go walk over there and hug them all. I just wanted to wake them up and say, hey, I know that you have to work in the morning or whatever. Maybe they didn't. But, like, I know it's late, but I love you. And I just thought about all these different people in my life. And And that was an amazing experience. And it really terrified me because I thought, wow, I have no existential purpose here. And that kind of sucked, and I kind of dealt with it, I thought. And then when I had that mushroom trip where I had the enlightenment and I learned how to interact with emotions, I also kind of got the point of this is the point of life, which is to, I think I came out with spread life and make life better. You know, it's just kind of biologically, it sort of makes sense too, right? You're genetically driven to reproduce, and then at least humans are inclined to make the future better. I think that's very true. You know, it's kind of just simple shit. Spread life and make it better. Just make it easier, make it more, I don't know if easier is the right word, but you know what I mean? More pleasant. That's what we're going for. I took up a lot of time with those stories. Sorry, guys. I didn't want to talk all about mushrooms. But those are profound experiences, and I'm really happy about it. I would say probably the best choice I've made so far was probably to start this joint goal setting thing I do with Philip. That was a powerful thing we started doing last February. Doing mushrooms with my buddies, planning. We've got a business idea that we're planning. Maybe I'll kind of talk about I don't want to talk about it. I won't. I'll save that for another time, for other 2018 plans. When we start, we're just like at the point where it's like, okay, now's go time. So now we're like kind of like, okay, what's the first stuff we got to do? And we're figuring out what we can do to make something happen. Something. You'll figure it out. It's not a huge deal. It has to do with the farm, I guess. But it's somewhat exciting. And I don't want to talk about it without my buddies. I want to get them on and be like, hey, we're launching it. But all of these things have contributed to some exciting stuff. Got to be on Thaddeus Russell's podcast. It was exciting. I've been getting a lot of new people listening to the show. So shout out to anybody who's from unregistered. Hope you guys are able to deal with my yakkiness. I don't know. Right, it's like wackiness, but yak. Yeah, I think if they didn't get it, Nick, they didn't want to. Anyway, plans. I mean, that's 2017. I've come a long ways, and gee, I hope you're proud. Yeah, guys, that's kind of exciting. Maybe I should stop it here. Nah, I mean, I said 20 more minutes, 10, 12 minutes ago. Let's keep going. Let's talk about some of my things for 2018. I'm gonna climb that damn mountain. Okay, I'll get there. I'll get through all over Ridge. That's part of my goal. If I did, I think I said earlier that I went on a walk today, and shorter one, but it was a good walk. So I'm gonna try and keep that up. Really, I guess my focus really is I don't want to do necessarily anything new. Like I've chosen the things I want to do. I want to farm, I want to podcast, and I want to make friends. I want to have some fun too, I guess, right? And I'm still trying to organize it. I'm still trying to like categorize everything and make it all make sense and all throw it to a singular goal. But at this point, I'm really trying, I feel like I'm working in the same direction. Like I feel like all the pieces of my life are sort of working towards the same goals, and I just need to do some like ship shaping over here. And man, I don't know what it is. It's just trial and error until you get it right, and that's life. But goddamn, I'm telling you, I am excited. If I can keep up the progress I've been making, I think I could kick ass this year. We'll see. But yeah, what are some of the things I want to do? I want to have a more involved garden, and I'm hoping to bring on, have some, I shouldn't say that. This has to do with the business idea with my buddies. When I have a more involved garden, I don't want to be selling vegetables, if you guys thought that. Got better ideas than that. But I wanted to have, I guess one of the things we talked about is taking vegetables and making value-added products like fermented goods. Just to give you a little teaser. So I want to do that, but I also want to be more sustainable on the farm. My dad's not working as much as he used to be doing, and I think my mom's gonna be working for a little while. But we're becoming as a family, we're thinking more about what can we do here with this farm property that we have. And I think we have some plans to do some things, and I'm hoping we can make some major improvements to the land. I'm hoping that we can build, perhaps build a commercial kitchen and a commercial dairy building. It'll start out being for the goats, and then as if I can grab a calf this year, see if I can start milking yaks. I won't be able to milk yaks this year. It's not going to happen, but in the near future, setting up some of the facilities that I would need to do that. Those are some of the plans. But I guess what I was saying earlier is I've learned that you make plans and they don't go as well as you think because you just don't understand life. You don't know what's going to happen next. That's been the main lesson of 2017. Fuck plans. Not plans are good, but you got to be able to have them flexible. So instead of like making plans and making a resolution, what I really like, my thing is like 2018, I really want to focus in on just shaping stuff up, just getting a little bit more better at disciplining myself, being more focused on what I need to do, and being just on my game, doing the stuff that I want to do. Because what I find happens is there are these little distractions like food or like the candy, but particularly like making food. Like, I don't know, there's an emotional side to eating that I have, and that can become a distraction for me. That's a minor one compared to like social media, but like social media is a great example of, it's fun. Like, I like interacting with people online. I like seeing what my anarchist friends and friends I don't see very often are up to, but that doesn't get me any closer to like my personal goals. Like, it's great. Like, it's really cool to see like it, and it helps me in a lot of ways. Like, it helps me do podcasting. If I know what, like, I don't know, like, yeah, if I'm not keeping up with my Freedom Fiends folks, I don't really know what's going on in the Liberty spheres. And I like to know what's going on. I like to have these friends. Because I like all these people that I've met through podcasting and libertarianism. You know, just doing these stuffs, and I like going to the events. Like, I'm going to go to the Michigan or the Midwest Peace and Liberty Fest again this year. I like those folks. So spending some time on Facebook, and not so much Instagram, I guess, but on Facebook specifically for those guys, excuse me, is pretty. I think it has some benefits. It's I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's good. It's good. There's a reason I like it. I also like the attention. I like getting on Facebook and seeing I got 29 notifications. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm popular. You know? That's part of the mechanism of it, right? This is what it's designed for. But so what I found is that those distractions, while they can be somewhat fulfilling, and even though I might be doing something quote unquote productive, like I'm doing something with my time that will benefit me in the future, it's not the best thing I could do. So I'm really trying to focus in on, like, there are things I want out of life, and if I fuck around, I'm not gonna get them. So why not just, like, I'm trying to figure out, why not apply consistent focus? Part is like, okay, you do need you need time to decompress. You can't be on all the time. You gotta fuck off sometimes. You gotta be doing stuff. Like, you gotta be doing stuff, and sometimes you just don't want to do stuff. There's a balance, right? It's the yin and yang. Can't be productive all the time. Otherwise, you're probably doing coke. I don't know. I don't want to be doing coke. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's a balance, and I don't know if I've struck it yet, but I'm just trying to figure out where that is, and I've made a lot of progress on that, and I'm hoping that by the end of this year I'll have some better ideas, and I'll have some better habits formed. Particularly, I think this one's important, but I don't know because it's been hard to set. Is a morning routine. Everybody likes their morning routine. Anybody that has a planned morning routine, I should say, likes it. But I don't know of anybody that doesn't like them. So I'd like to I sometimes get in like routines, but they always end up changing for whatever random reason. And part of it, I think, is just not like focused discipline. Like I'm not like I just think about, I don't know. It's just not always in my head that I need to make my bed every morning. I've gotten a lot better. I pretty much like happened once this week, and that's the first time it's happened. Maybe the third time it happened last month. Okay, all right. Maybe it happens every once in a while, but I'm getting a lot better at that, and I like it. I like having a made bed because I can sit on the bed, and it's more like, I don't know. What's the word? I don't know. It just feels better to sit on because like the blankets it's more smooth. It's not more smooth. I don't know, guys. Weird descriptive word I can't think of right now. Jeez, I don't know. I'm a podcaster. I can't think of the word. All I do is say words. So I'm just, man, I'm tired today, so I just feel like I'm a little bit hyper. I went on a good walk today. It was a fun walk. I found some chinkapin, which is exciting to me. I got a book for Christmas called Pacific Northwest Foraging, 120, can't even talk, by Douglas Dewar. 120 wild, flavorful edibles from Alaska blueberries to wild hazelnuts. And I found some chinkapin. And I found the nuts, and I was looking at them. I was like, I wonder what those are. And I remember reading about them before, and I was really pissed when I got back home and found out that was exactly chinkapin. Because I looked at it, and I'm like, is that chinkapin? I bet that's chinkapin. I didn't think the nuts were. I had no idea what the little spindlies were. I've seen them before. But it's supposed to be pretty good. The small nut has a sweet and subtly spicy flavor, reminiscent of a chestnut. They're an evergreen tree, and they're actually really pretty. There were two big ones out on the... it was a clearing that I was walking. It had been planted. It was a small cut on... I guess I wasn't quite to the Bureau of Land Management ground. I was on some private ground family owns. But, yeah. It's part of the thing. Hey. I was talking about 2018 goals, but this fits. It's all together. So, I'm trying to apply more, just focus on what I want to do. And what I want to do is, partly I want to build this business of my farm. I want this... and I want to build the farm out. I want to diversify a little bit. I want to bring more people in and have more stuff going on. Like, I still want to be doing my yak thing. I don't know how much I really want to be doing the pork thing, but we'll see. It's like, I've talked about this. I already talked about this. But I'd like to bring in some other things, and like what I want out of life is I kind of want to be a master of not only myself, like that's kind of the big thing, is I want to be a master of my own of my own mind. But I also want to be kind of I just want to be an expert. I don't want to be the expert necessarily. I don't care about that. I just want to be an expert on this area and kind of living sustainably. If that makes sense. There's all these different like pieces to it. I'm thinking of, I don't know how to describe it. It's just all of these ideas I have. Like, if I could, I have my like weird jargon thing that I've made up with my buddies. Listen. I'm creating. We're creating a philosophy. Shit, I'm moving around so much, probably making so much noise. I'm getting excited, fuckers. Man, I feel so bad about how many swear words I use, but this is raw Nick. This is Nick Hazelton. If you want to get straight to the bone, this is him right now. God, maybe I'll turn this into a Patreon episode. I won't. I'm gonna throw it out to you guys. Whatever. Nobody cares. Listen. The thing I'm trying to do is I'm okay. There's a lot of these things. Farming is a big aspect to it. Foraging is a big aspect to it. I guess it really is sustainability, but I feel like it's more complicated than that because it's anarcho-capitalism, fuckers. That's what it's going to be called. That's what I'm going to call it right away, right now. But it's this idea of I want to be self-sustainable from 2 points. There's the resiliency side where I want to be impervious to struggle and challenges. You know what I mean? Like I don't, if an earthquake happens and my farm collapses, I can live off the chinkapin nuts. You know, if all the yaks die, I can live out in the woods off deer and licorice fern root. Or whatever's out there, you know what I mean? I want to be able to have that. But then there's also like I don't like calling it spiritual, but there's that connection to the land and the surrounding environment that I want. Like I like one of the mushroom things, one of the things about psychedelic is this feeling of all being one. You know, we're all one. There's a spiritual side of that, and then there's like the actual truth of like we are made of like the same chemical, like, you know what I mean? We all come from bacteria. If you believe in evolution, I do. You know, we all come from the same place and the same thing. Every living creature is all one in that sense. That we all started in the same place, and the what do they call that? I'm not an evolutionary biologist. I don't know. What do they call that? The something water or something. Or mud. I don't remember where life started. But I think that there's also this thing about like how I feel about how human beings have separated themselves from nature. You know, we live in these big cities. We don't go out and sit out in the woods enough. I don't think we do. Like, we just don't get to be out in nature, in wilderness, I should say, because human beings and as a product of nature, everything we do is nature. Yeah, I get it, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Like, there is a difference between the civilization of man and the wilderness. It's not the same kind of nature. And we have no matter what, we have a very close relationship. We have a relationship. We have a reliance on this planet and the biological systems that happen on it. We're next to unnecessary on this planet. There has been plenty of time without us. We don't need to be here. But we wouldn't be able to exist without it, right? Kind of self-evident. And so we're always going to have that relationship, but I don't think very many people recognize it. And I know that because there are people who have this fear of killing their own food, of raising their own food. They don't really understand. They have all these disconnections to how the world really works, right? Oh, the polar bears are really nice. Like, you hear about all these things, but it turns out like polar bears are assholes. I'm just making this up, and turns out they're not dying that much. You know what I mean? Like, there's all these disconnections that we have because we're not actually out there learning. Like, this just has to do with the fact is I know shit about yaks because I've been raising them for 4 years, and you don't because you haven't. Just the fact that I take away any of the research that I've done, just the observations that I've made over the 3 years are a huge difference in between you and me. So that makes a huge difference of like how much time have we spent in nature versus the city. I've spent time raising animals. I've spent time raising meat. I know the process that it takes to get meat. Some of you don't because you never killed your own animal. And you're missing a connection to what is real in that sense. Like, there is a relationship that we would have had with our food if you're a hunter-gatherer or a farmer. that you don't get if you pick it up at the grocery store, or even if you buy it from me. It's not the same. It's not the same as me eating my own meat. And it's not, and it's even different for somebody who hunts and kills their own meat than, because I don't even kill the yaks, right? I kill pigs because that's easy. But the yak is just too big for me to handle, right? I would, a butcher's way better than a meat. But so even then, there's that difference between the relationship I would have with that yak if I had killed it would be so different. I guarantee it. Because I've watched yaks die, and it's the craziest thing ever. I mean, it's a strange sensation to watch life leave such an amazingly big, beautiful animal. My point is that there are all these things that we don't have because we don't have such there's all these emotions that we don't get. There's all this part of experiences of experiencing life that we have moved away from in pursuit of other things. Like for me, like I talked, maybe I said this in the last take. I've done 2 takes because my battery died, and I thought, well, let me just start over and make another one. It's the second take. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, like I spend a lot of my time playing video games instead of walking around in the woods. So now I have to learn how to walk around in the woods when I could have learned that last year, like one of my buddies did. 10 years ago. Sorry, that's what I was thinking. Not last year. I have a buddy who all he has done with his life pretty much is hunted and fished with his dad because he didn't play very many video games and didn't like TV that much. You know? And the advantage that he has over me, because now I want to do all this shit that he knows how to do. And yeah, I learned I learned a lot of useful things. Don't get me wrong. Being an intellectual has served me well, and I think that I'm in a much better place than if I hadn't pursued that path. But the video games, I don't know how useful those were. How I could have built my own fort instead of one on Minecraft. It's just easier to do it on Minecraft. So we have all these disconnections. So that's what I'm trying to get back to with this farming thing is I want to get back to that relationship with my food and with the land, like the land around me. That's why I'm getting out and I'm walking around is I really want to know what's out there. I think I said it was a pride thing, but it's not entirely a pride thing that just because I want to be able to say, oh, I know that. No, there's a benefit in knowing that. Just to have that relationship with the landscape around you. Like I can look over there and think about, well, this is this and that over there. Like I can think about the details because I look at these ridges and then I walk them, and it's amazingly different than you. Like it's totally different than you would think. Like you think, oh, I just walk up from there to there. No, that path sucks. You got to go around, and ass around and drop back off, and then back. Then now you're there. Because there's all these different hills and sloughs you didn't see. You got to follow these weird deer trails everywhere, and it's way thicker than it looks from 2 miles away. It's all this kind of you know what I mean? I like that. I want to have that relationship with the landscape, the food, and nature. And so, and then I also want to have this relationship with my community, because that's something we don't have. We're not as tribal as we used to be. And this is where I'm picking up on what kind of these psychologists and evolutionary biologists are saying, that I'm hearing all these thoughts, like a little bit of Terence McKenna's archaic revival and just the paleo diet and all the, I don't know, these are where these ideas come from, I guess, but that's what I'm trying to shoot for. So I'm trying to kind of bring back some of these older ideas while keeping a focus on these new ones. Like individualism is an important one. I think that the community, like I talked about this last week, right? It's very important to have community, but it's also very important to be an individual, to remain sovereign, in control of your own life, right? This life really is for you, when it comes down to it, you're the one that cares most about you. Maybe your parents care quite a bit about you, you know what I mean? But they're worried about their own shit too. You know, you're in charge of you. You're responsible of you. So, yeah. What else? So, you get what I mean? Like, okay. I figured out the individualist part, and now I'm kind of like, I'm desiring some more interaction with particularly my local community. Partly out of genuine interest, partly out of like, I want to make friends and influence people. You know what I mean? I want to become a successful person. And part of that's pride, part of it's I want to help people. You know, I want to be powerful in the sense that I'm able to make things happen. So that I can help other people, but so also I can do the cool things I want to do. So that's my focus this year, is 2018, is I want to go on more walks. I want to spend more time with my animals. I want to spend more time outside, less time on the computer. I want to do more podcasts with more interesting people and make more money. Do more cool shit. Help more people. Yeah. So that's the thing. That's the thing. I think that's it, guys. Those are my plans. I'll be having some interviews coming up. I just didn't have any scheduled because of the holidays, but I think I have one scheduled next week. I might even have one. I don't think I have one scheduled this week. I've got a Fiend show. You guys probably won't get it by the time I release this. If you're listening on Tuesday, January 2nd, I will be on the Freedom Fiends at 10 o'clock p.m., 12 a.m. Pacific time. Talking with Jeremy Hangler, maybe a little bit about individualism versus collectivism, because that was just on my mind this week, and I thought I would throw it out to them. Yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you for listening. I hope that you had a wonderful 2017, and I hope that you have a wonderful 2018. What are you guys doing this year? What's your resolution or plan or focus? What are you trying to do? Throw it out in the Yakkin with Nick feedback group if you would. We're like, yeah, I'm curious. I just want to know what's going on in the lives of the people listening to Yakkin with Nick. Throw it out in the Facebook group. If you look up on Facebook, Yakkin with Nick, you'll probably find it, but it's the Yakkin with Nick feedback group. The link will be in the show notes. And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, I'd really appreciate that. You can go to patreon.com/justyakkin. That's JUSTYAKKIN. That link will also be in the show notes. If you want to send me some cryptocurrency email or message me, yakkinwithnick@gmail.com. That's YAKKIN with Nick. It's the title of the show. If you're listening to it, you probably read it. At gmail.com. And you can send me a message on Facebook or comment, whatever. Just get a hold of me. I do appreciate any donations and any support. But hey, if you don't have money or you don't want to give me money, one thing that I could ask for is if you would review Yakkin with Nick on iTunes, Stitcher, or Google Play. It helps if we get more 5-star reviews. So if you give me a shitty one, it doesn't really help. But I appreciate feedback no matter what. So it's really nice if you guys could throw them up on those mediums. And I also really like to hear from you guys in the group. So yeah, tell me what your New Year resolution is. And if you're not about resolutions, what is your focus, or what's a big plan? What's the thing you got going for 2018? If you don't do that at all, I'm curious to hear about, like, why? Why not? Tell us why we shouldn't make resolutions or goals or plans or focus on things. Cool. With that, thank you for listening again, and I'll talk to you next week.